I learn how to learn. I am knowledge.
This is our 8th discussion of the universal law called I am knowledge. I am knowledge is one of 11 universal laws of the guiding principles of peace and unity. In our previous presentations about I am knowledge, we revealed that there are 9 types of intelligence, and we explained that using them to learn how to learn is critical for the development of self-love, culture, and civilization building. But why am I even talking about these 9 intelligences? Because they play an important role in personal career development and community economic development. It is by paying attention to the type of intelligence dominance your child or teen displays that allows you to present them career opportunities and place them into those opportunities. The purposeful development of children's and teens' career paths leads to the development of businesses, industry, and overall economic development within the Black community. Uplift your children by giving them opportunities to excel based upon their areas of intellectual dominance. Before we discuss naturalistic intelligence, I need to inform you that Facebook has limited how many posts I can share with our groups. As a result, I will be able to share less frequently, so everything will be a little bit slower. If you think these posts have value, it would be best if you join the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity Facebook group or the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity Facebook page. As Black people, we know that Facebook and other social media platforms do not belong to us. So the best way to make sure that we're able to share these posts and other information is to establish more permanent connections that are not dependent on social media platforms that we do not control. If you go to the gppu.org website, you can download the Guiding Principles of Peace and Unity as well as their violations. To do so, you will need to provide an email address. With that connection, you will have direct access to our posts, events, and other resources even when social media fails us. Links are in the description. Now, the universal law I am knowledge and naturalistic intelligence. There are 3 areas critical to the success of the Black community in Africa and the African diaspora. They are culture, economics, and education. In this video series, we continue to examine issues and concepts related to education for the development of self-love, which those who care about the Black community may examine and consider. But culture is the foundation of self-love. What is culture? The word culture comes from the word cultivate, which is related to the domestication and growth of plants. Culture is like a gardener who cultivates a plant by tying it to a stand for support, putting it in a certain location, and watering it. The gardener does that with labor, care, and study to foster the growth of the plant to become tall and strong, so it does not grow bent and crooked, so it does not become a weed. The gardener, as I said, does this with labor, care, and study to ensure that her plants are the best. But culture is actually a way to cultivate and civilize human beings. Because of the natural function and growth of the human brain during the various stages of life, human beings must be purposefully and deliberately cultivated in order to civilize them. This is done first by establishing universal laws and standards of behavior. We call those universal laws the guiding principles of peace and unity.
I meditate to relax in all situations. I am peace. I bring and keep together the families and communities who live in peace and unity with others. I am unity. I learn how to learn. I am knowledge. I create for myself, my family, and my community. I am power. I obey the laws of my family and community that are in harmony with peace and unity. I am law. I do no harm to my family, other families, or my community. I am protection. I choose the feelings, thoughts, and actions that are in harmony with the principles of peace and unity. I am control. I have fun and work with my family and my community. I am cooperation and harmony. I am careful about what I believe. I accept ideas and beliefs that are in harmony with these guiding principles. I am correct ideas and beliefs. With all my heart, I take care of my family, other families, and communities that are living according to the principles of peace and unity. I am devotion. I keep a clean body. I have clean habits. I eat healthy food. I exercise. I care for my environment and planet. I abuse no substance or drug. I am strength.
The guiding principles of peace and unity is an ethical, moral framework that says, do good, do no harm to others. Do good, do no harm to each other. They are universal laws that guide our people, purify us, and make us stronger. The guiding principles of peace and unity will help you remember who and what you really are. You can get a copy of the guiding principles of peace and unity and their violations at our website, thegppu.org. With these universal laws as a foundation, true culture will 1. Prepare you for life. 2. Foster your growth. 3. Improve you as a person and as a community. 4. Help you solve problems. Today, under the universal law I am knowledge, we continue to discuss the two critical roles that education plays in developing this culture of self-love. Let's look at the universal law I am knowledge. It says, I learn how to learn. This represents one of the greatest powers that you have in life, but is misunderstood. Many of us believe that intelligence and knowledge is having more information than others and being able to memorize and communicate that information. But that is only part of it. The other part of it is the ability to be quiet, listen, receive instruction, knowing how to gather information when and where it's needed, receiving deep understanding from your practice and your work in your field of endeavor. Now, all the guiding principles of peace and unity have their violations. The violations of I am knowledge are educational disenfranchisement, educational repression, educational restriction, educational elitism, educational neglect, miseducation. The first role of education in developing a culture of self-love is teaching people, especially children, their history. There seems to be much debate and public dispute about black children learning their current and ancient history. But there is no debate. You must learn your history and you must teach it to your children. It is your responsibility as a parent and caregiver. And it is critical if your children are to develop a culture of self-love and be able to operate effectively in this world. Now, let's discuss the second role of education in developing a culture of self-love. That involves understanding the nature of intelligence, showing people their intelligences, and providing them with opportunities to use those intelligences. But first, what do I mean by intelligence? As a lifelong educator who has actually observed the learning of many children and adults, it is my view that the true reality of intelligence is represented by the theory of multiple intelligences. The theory of multiple intelligences was first proposed in 1983 by Dr. Howard Gardner, a cognitive psychologist. The theory of multiple intelligence says that there are 9 types of intelligence. 1. Verbal linguistic intelligence. 2. Mathematical logical intelligence. 3. Spatial visual intelligence. 4. Musical rhythmic intelligence. 5. Bodily kinesthetic intelligence. 6. Interpersonal intelligence. 7. Intrapersonal intelligence. 8. Naturalistic intelligence. And 9. Existential intelligence. Now, those who disagreed with Gardner's theory complained that what he identified were talents, not intelligence. Their views show that they do not understand the complex cognitive and intellectual processes needed to create and cook a good recipe, negotiate a win-win solution between 2 opposing parties, or choreograph an award-winning dance routine. They want to diminish those intelligences by using the word talent. But talent and intelligence are the same. Gardner's detractors also complain that there is no way to test his theory, like with an IQ test. Those critics are also limited in their understanding of how intelligence can be identified. Intelligence is identified using the actual work a person does every day and how well they excel at doing that life's work, not just through a written test. Gardner was not an educator, but many well-known educators and educational theorists agree. Piaget, Bloom, Vygotsky, Skinner insisted that intelligence is actually developed by doing and through experience, by trial and error, through loss and reward, by doing the thing that you're trying to learn, building on what is learned, and mastering it in real life. We've already talked about verbal linguistic intelligence, mathematical logical intelligence, visual spatial intelligence, musical rhythmic intelligence, bodily kinesthetic intelligence, interpersonal intelligence, and intrapersonal intelligence. Today we will focus on the 8th of Gardner's 9 intelligences, naturalistic intelligence. Actually, what we're talking about is naturalistic intelligence dominance. Everyone has some level of naturalistic intelligence. It is just that some of us have dominance or greater access and ease of use of naturalistic intelligence than other people. That is called dominance. Dominance simply means that neural networks of his or her brain have strong and complex connections that make naturalistic intelligence more accessible to them. connections between the brain's visual cortex, helps them identify and distinguish visual features of plants, animals, landscapes, and other objects in nature and the environment. The temporal lobe involves recognizing and remembering objects, animals, sounds, and categories. The parietal lobe, supporting spatial awareness and helps with understanding relationships between objects and their environment. The prefrontal cortex supports observation, comparison, classification, problem solving, decision making, and planning. The hippocampus, important for forming and retrieving memories, including memories of places, species, and environmental experiences. The amygdala, related to the limbic structures, can contribute to emotional responses to animals, the natural environment, and the environmental threats within that environment. Traditional educational systems focus primarily on verbal linguistic intelligence and mathematical logical intelligence. There's little to no attention given to developing naturalistic intelligence. Those who are naturalistic intelligence dominant are known for recognizing patterns in nature, identifying plants and animals, understanding ecosystems, and adapting behavior for survival of the Earth's physical challenges. These children will have fascination for, and will always be in the backyard, the garden, wilderness, in zoos, on farms, examining and studying every animal, plant, rock formation, soil type, and weather pattern. And if those outdoors resources are not available to them, they will bring the outdoors into your house, plants, animals. They will automatically notice subtle patterns and changes in the environment. They enjoy outdoor activities such as hiking, bird watching, gardening, or farming. They care about conservation, wildlife, and environmental issues. Naturalistic, intelligent, dominant children have many interesting professions available to them. Biologists, ecologists, botanists, zoologists, veterinarian, environmental scientist, farmer, forest ranger, geologist, just to name a few. There's additional information about naturalistic intelligence learning and resources in the description of this video. Remember, when you uplift a black child, that is a defeat for those who think they are our enemies. When you uplift a black person, that is a defeat for those who think they are our enemies. Use the guiding principles of peace and unity. Uplift each other. Do good, do no harm.